We're live, I think. You said 3, 2, 1. So, guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the PodClub Meetup for April. We're live streaming for you, and I'm so excited to have you guys over there, although I miss you guys being here. We have so much that we want to cover in this 1 hour, and I've got an amazing lineup of 2 incredible guests who have hit huge numbers in terms of their success, and they're here to literally burst open with all of the secrets that they've understood to be the formula of their growth. But before we get into that, for anyone who's actually joining us for the first time, we usually do these sessions in person, and right now we're running them online so that we don't stop the process of our sessions coming together, bringing amazing people to you. And if it is your first time, just write your name in the chat, get involved. We're going to have our community manager, Beth, who's going to be able to welcome you and get you through the whole process of onboarding you onto our WhatsApp group if you're not there as well. But I do want to get into this because it's an amazing topic. We've got 2 amazing guests, and I want to get started. So I'm going to get into it. Please do make sure if you have any questions that come into your mind, again, jot them down in the chat and we will come to you. It's going to be more interactive as well. So get involved as much as you can. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I don't know what you guys are doing, but hit the subscribe button and just get involved. Okay? So we're going to get into this because there's a lot we want to cover and I'm really excited. So I want to start. I can't wait anymore. And guys, tonight we have 2 brothers who started experimenting with skits on YouTube and TikTok and then hit 70 million views on one video that changed their path from casually creating funny content to launching a social media agency helping brands with their content strategy. These heavy hitters are here tonight to share the do's and don'ts of growing your reach. So let's welcome the dynamic duo who have turned awkward moments into viral gold. Great to have you here, Deji and Dio.
Thank you very much. That was a very colorful introduction, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That woke you up, huh?
I was hooked for that. Yeah.
Okay, well, look, the introduction was short because I want to get into the core of what you guys do.
Yeah.
I am honestly just so... I don't even know what the word is. It's impressed. It's just... taken aback by how amazing your journey has been and the process of what you've gone through to get to where you are. Yeah. So I want to get right into it, right? We want to know the ins and outs, the do's and don'ts. And I think you guys are the best people to talk about how we can separate the reality versus what looks good on Instagram, right? Get into the myths that we want to burst. We want to literally just rip those layers apart. I'm going to ask you straight up. Let's get into it. What have been the myths that you've heard and you've understood doesn't stand? It's not true. And you want to tell everybody else what those myths are. Let's get into it.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to express that I like the idea of that we have a certain how do you say?
You got it. I believe in you.
I want to say that we kind of we got to where we are from I want to say falling upwards.
Falling upwards. The man is getting creative.
In a very feeling upwards.
Yeah, in terms of I don't want people. One thing is, I think, and one myth to answer your question is that everything has to be perfect. So that's where I'm leading to.
Nice.
Is we did a lot of different things. He will tell you he tried doing content for about 6 months, and that went nowhere initially. And then we tried again, just out of hey, why don't we just. And then, it worked out the way it did. So one thing is that people shouldn't be afraid to fail or make mistakes. And also failure is relative. Failure is very, very relative. Yeah. Especially if we're talking about content. 100 views to me can be a success. 100 views to another person might be a failure, So
yeah.
you really need to temper those expectations. What else would you say is...
I think that's the biggest one, if I'm being honest. There's no... As much as we're here to talk about the do's and don'ts, there's no real manual.
Yeah, there isn't. Exactly.
You kind of just freestyle, and then when it hits, it hits. And you just kind of hit the ground running with that. But also, I mean, there are smaller things. I don't know how much time actually plays into it.
Oh, people posting times.
Posting times,
yeah.
I think at at the beginning it's something to obsess over, something that you can really like dive into the weeds about and try and optimize everything. But I don't know how much of I don't think that plays as much of a role as people think it does.
It was problematic.
Yeah, because we did extensive. We were very extensive.
So yeah, that's you know,
Explain extensive. So what does that mean?
So when I say we tried everything,
Yeah,
right?
everything.
Give us a couple examples of what you tried.
So for example, early on when I was posting my videos, I was kind of aiming for a certain time of day. I think it was 5 or 6 p.m.
And he swore by 5
and
or 6 p.m.
I ruined relationships because
oh my god, that's serious, man.
Yeah, like you know,
it was really easy.
Hey, let's meet up. And I'm sorry, I have to post my video.
Yeah.
And I think at the time scheduling wasn't a thing. So
it still isn't on TikTok. By the way. You have to go to like the desktop to do it. So.
Yeah.
So the reason why that even happened, and I guess it's kind of correct and kind of incorrect at the same time, is at the time I was posting videos, and one video that I posted at a certain time got, I think, 35,000 views, and that was my first view. That was my highest viewed video at the time. So I was like, you know, monkey see, monkey do. This worked at this.
I'm gonna just keep repeating this. Let's just double down on it, and we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah. So that was a thing, but then over time I noticed that didn't really do anything. You know, I had. Obviously, not every video from there got 35,000 views. Some went down, some went up. But the current, what do you call it? Peg, or what do you? The current
benchmark.
Yeah, benchmark. Thank you. The current benchmark that we have currently is, I think later in the day is better because that's when most people are active on their phones.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
He was. Yeah. We just last week or a few days ago, he was telling me about how we are in the mall. So we went to the mall and we posted a video that we had been waiting to upload. And he goes into the bathroom and he's like, "You won't believe what happened." I was like, well, "Public bathroom." I'm like, "What happened?"
Somebody was watching the video.
He's like, "Somebody's watching the video that you just posted." I was like, "How did you know?"
That's
He's like,
crazy.
His volume was on and I heard the if, and I was like, "You are kidding me." So that, you know.
So how does that, like, what does that make you feel when you're actually like, okay, let's take out the context of the bathroom situation, but you know, let's pretend like you're just sitting there and you actually are hearing somebody else watching your content. How does that feel?
It has happened a few times.
It's happened a few times. Yeah. Actually, a lot of times what happens is people, when we're in public, people see us and then they're like,
"You look familiar."
They go check, and then they go check. And so then me hearing the video, I'm like, "What is going on?" And that's when they're like, "Oh, it's you." And I'm like, okay.
Or like, you know, for me personally, it's still kind of awkward. I just kind of
pretend. It kind of is. It kind of is.
I kind of pretend like until they approach me, because I mean, you know, you don't want to like approach. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah.
And then they're not even like that concerned.
How'd you know?
So you just kind of let it play out. You know,
I'm just a normal person
happen.
too, you know.
But yeah, at the end of the day, we're just normal dudes. Like most times, we're just trying to shop, or like we're upset about something.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes, and then they're like, "Hey, this is you, right?" And then we go from, yeah. Oh, so nice to meet you.
He does that quicker than I do. I don't switch that.
I switch so quickly because it's so jarring when I notice too, because I feel like I have this like very resting, like unapproachable face. But the second somebody notices me, I cheer up. But anyway, that was such a tangent.
We digress, but I like this. I like this little de-route we took.
Yeah.
But this is where I think it comes a little bit more into, you're busy creating, right? Did you feel at any point that, you know, I know where I want to go, this is the number I want to hit, and when you hit that number, you're like, okay, I made it? Or did you actually not even have a number and you're just creating it for the fun of creating it?
So for me, it's a bit of both, because, and I say for me because I started before him. For me, it was very much a manifestation kind of situation.
Love this. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my language. Let's go. Okay.
And he knows the story because I tell this story every time. I remember we were at a party and I turned to him and I was like, you know, this was like first couple of days of the year in 2021. And I was like, bro, by the end of the year, I don't know what's going to happen, but people are going to know us. People are going to know our names. And he was like, yeah, I don't know if you were even taking me seriously. But he was like, yeah, I believe you. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I don't know whether it's because we're really passionate about music. We're really passionate about video. We had been making YouTube videos from 2015.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what it is, whether it's going to be YouTube or whatever, but people are going to know our names by the end of this year. And I said that. And by the end of that year, I had 100,000 followers on TikTok.
But I don't think there was a number attached to it, though.
But that's the thing, right? So
you knew it was going to be big. You put it out there that you're going to be big, but you didn't have a number in mind.
Yeah. In fact, I think I remember very well, I was talking to one of my friends. I had hit 15,000 and I was celebrating. Or rather, they were like, hey, aren't you happy about this? I was like, nah, I'm going to 1 million. You know, like just the...
Nice.
Always like trying to like...
Next level, like leveling up.
Because, and it's not even a case of... I don't want to say it's a case of ego or like...
Hubris.
Yeah, it's just that like I wanted to do it, you know, and I did everything in my power to do it. And I feel because of that most people or anybody can really do it. The key is just to be, everybody's unique in some way or the other. Correct. Like even twins are unique in some way or the other.
Oh, that's a good one.
So yeah, so that's what I try to tell people is even though there is a formula, you need to still make that formula your own.
Yes.
You know? And that's why our content is similar, but people can tell the difference between us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can. But I think that what you're saying is very, very real. And I think a lot of people might think that, okay, now this is a winning formula for me. I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to keep going until I hit a dead end or a brick wall. And I think you guys have just constantly tried to keep it fresh.
Just keep going. Yeah.
You're going, you're trying new things, which is why I think you're continuing your growth.
Yeah.
And that actually is, I remember one of the questions that we had sent in by one of our members, Chris. He wanted to know, did you know when you came up with the concept that it would be a hit?
So yes and no.
That's a very good one.
Yes and no, right?
I mean, you manifested the being known and people knowing your name, right? But did you think that what you were creating is going to be a big thing, like the whole concept of the if and the skit? Did you think it's going to be as big as it became?
So initially, I knew that the idea was good, but I didn't know that I would be doing the idea as long as I have. Let's put it that way. Because initially, I'm the kind of person where I do like to like evolve and do different things. And I had a couple of things that I had done before that went viral, that did like a couple million views. Not even, that was the first video that got like 10.
Tormented by that.
Yeah. Yeah, the audience they were like, yo, more. And that's another thing about content is you have to draw that balance between, serving your audience and serving yourself, because at the end of the day, mental health and all that stuff.
Preach! I think we're holding a whole different conversation now. Yes, sir. Okay.
But it's in the moment I knew, comedy has a certain formula. You need to like kind of be relatable and be a little bit like exaggerated. Like a normal story can be the most ridiculous thing if you tell it in the right way.
Right.
So initially, when I started doing the formula, that was the idea. It was just to like say the most ridiculous thing in the most professional setting possible, which is something that has been done before. I think Mr. Bean doesn't even talk, but like for example,
that's a very good
he does a Charlie Chaplin kind of vibe. Yeah.
So that was the initial idea. I did, I think, a couple of videos of those, and then I was ready to let it go. I was like, I let it go. I moved on. And then, I came up with another idea, and then another idea, and another idea. And I'm the kind of person that, as long as there's fuel to add to the fire, I'm gonna keep going. And of course, adding my brother in just added a whole new layer to it, because he is like my mirror. Like it's funny because a lot of people that watch us do these videos, maybe we'll do it live sometime. But a lot of people that watch us do these videos, they always comment about how, what the heck? How did you guys just switch on and off like that?
Right.
Because we just have an understanding of how to do it now. So, sorry, tangent. but
I think this is the part where you guys have understood how you work well together, how you're able to build that creative process together. And a lot of the people who are podcasters, they are doing this as a solo gig, right? So their guest is their only other person who they have that vibe with, and a lot of times they might not know their guest. You guys are doing something different where you're actually working together, creating together, and that co-creation is the part that I'm noticing with both of you. You're really just letting it flow.
Yeah.
I think that fluidity with you, where do you guys draw the line in terms of like how much do you want to push the envelope and how much, or am I even judging it right? Are you the one who's like, let's try this, and you're like, whoa, let's just, kind of rein it back a bit? Or are you both kind of pushing each other? Like, how is that working if you're doing that together in the co-creation?
I think it comes and it goes. It depends on the idea, I think, is the best way
So
to
are
put
you
it.
the ideation and you're the let's go with it? Or is it kind of like
it's more like
both together?
I think it's more
we very much co-create.
Yeah, we're very much
Nice.
co-create. But there's also he's very much the idea guy. I would say that he's very, or like at least the concept guy. He's very big on concepts, and he has a very strong idea of what he wants to do. And so I'm just like, that seems like it would be hilarious. Let's do that. And in some cases where I think he's brought something that needs to be sharpened, I guess, then I would step in and be like, okay, but what if we do this instead? And this instead. And sometimes it's the other way around where I'm like, okay, but what if we do this? And he's the one that sharpens. And I think that's pretty much, even the videos that he's talking about now, before he posted them, he didn't tell me the concept.
Yeah, I was alone at that
He
time.
didn't tell me the concept.
Initially.
He's just like, oh, what do you think about this video? And I'm like, post it. And he was like, are you sure? Because I'm like, post it. Because he was making something that wasn't just funny to an audience. He was making something that was funny to him and to me.
Yeah,
that's the kind of humor
that's the
that
beauty of it, actually, yeah.
And then we just kind of ran with it from there.
So this is what I love, how the flow of this conversation is going. So you're actually going into one of my questions that I wanted to tap into, because where do you, let's put it a different way. When you're figuring out what kind of content you're going to put out there, as like you're going to test new stuff, right? Do you look at what you want to create, which is what you're just tapping into now, what your audience wants, or what the analytics are telling you is working?
Ooh.
Yes, this is what I want to get into. It only took us, 20 minutes to get there, but we're getting there. Let's get into it.
I don't think we are very much on analytics anymore.
No.
Anymore?
Yeah.
So you were at the beginning.
Initially, somewhat, we were very much again, oh, okay, this did good. But at the moment, I think it's very much, it's a bit of what the audience wants and a bit of what I would say,
There's a
probably
second Venn diagram.
30%, yeah, like 30% the audience and 70% what we want. Because thankfully we've reached a situation where we can kind of, play the field and the audience gets the idea. So just recently I created a video, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, that had no punchline. And it had no punchline.
What does that even mean?
I'm
trying to figure out what is that?
I literally said half of the joke, and then I looked at the camera, and everybody, like millions of people, got what I was trying to say, and it got 4 million views.
Okay, we have 4 million people who really resonate with this. No punchline.
That was
Looking at y'all, because y'all know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking
exactly.
about.
I think that also showed the strength of our branding situation. So it's very much okay, they like this, so how can we do this and still enjoy
the
doing it?
process? Yeah,
exactly.
I think they're very much like, it's good that they like this because we still like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
But like the second that it stops being as fun, I think that the key thing here, I think, is because we create a lot of it ourselves, we also do keep, like, we don't tell each other what we're going to say when we're like in the studio. We never do, like he
it's
doesn't
real.
know the
It's
punchline.
actual improv.
Yeah, he doesn't know the punchline until after I've said the punchline.
So
he-
wait a minute now.
Yeah,
This I didn't know. We didn't talk about this before, right? In my little call with you. So everything you're just totally freestyling improv.
Yeah.
Like you
I
don't
would
know
say-
what your punchline's gonna be.
I would say about
No.
80 to 90%. Yeah.
The only time is if
You guys are geniuses. Like seriously.
The only time is if we need a certain reaction.
Yeah, or reaction.
Then we will get the first reaction, and then we'll say, okay, can you do it this way? But everything is like, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. If and then we
And then you
ahead.
go.
Yeah, exactly. And then we just go ahead. And a lot of times we have to hold in the laughs or like wait till we finish cut and then we start laughing. These guys are operators. They've been there. They've witnessed it. So but yeah, that's the beauty of it, because I think people can tell that we're having fun.
Right.
And the ones that can't, that's so
That's tough.
There's a lot of people that think we're being serious.
Oh.
And that's a
No, this
that's
is
good,
no.
man.
People actually think you're being serious.
Yeah. It's supposed to be satire, but they're like, why are these guys asking such questions? Or like they'll actually explain the answer.
I love when they explain.
And again, because of our branding, somebody else will come in and be like, so this is what they normally do.
Heads up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is what they normally do. Or they'll be like, you guys, you've never seen these guys before?
And I think maybe for some people, you know, these kind of skits are new. They're not getting that you
Yeah.
are actually, you know, kind of vibing with each other, and it's supposed to be comedy, but you're actually talking about some, you know, real situations at times that gets people to start thinking outside the box. So I can see, I mean, I still can't understand how they think you're being serious. I'm trying to be polite here, but I really don't
to be
understand
fair,
how that's
the
happening.
tone that we usually carry is very
It's serious, yeah, because
Like,
we're talking
we're
so
saying very
seriously, you know,
seriously,
and I think that's the beauty of it, is because a lot of people start podcasts. I mean, because it's silly, but it's not silly sometimes,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people start podcasts with the idea of, okay, I have to get my voice out there,
Right.
You know, so I think most other people, when they see a podcast setting, they're like, okay,
This can be
these-
something serious and meaningful.
yeah,
We're going to learn
these guys,
something.
They bought cameras, they bought mics, just like it's unbelievable.
Just to be funny.
But sometimes you just want to chill too. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to talk to people and have these deeper conversations. And
But also, you know,
Like, yeah.
with the music that we use.
no, to be fair,
I'm so good.
No, we set it up.
Yeah,
We set-
that's
I'm
what I'm
on
saying.
your
Like
team.
the
we
setting.
put everything in place so that nobody misunderstands. But they
They
still
still do.
And it's okay.
They still do.
It's
And
fine.
this is where I actually came to realize that you have long form content.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
you this is a thing you do.
Yeah.
So the short is one, and you've hit, you know, success with that. Now let's talk about the long form content.
Yeah.
How is that in the creative process for you guys? Do you prefer long form versus short form? Does it not make a difference to you? Where do you sit on that? Tell me the real
You wanna
truth.
go first?
Thinking.
Okay, so I think in the grand scheme of things, I think I prefer long form.
Okay.
I think long form has a bit more variety, and you have
Yeah,
a bit more
versatility.
control over what you do long form. Because I could do a bunch of different things for long form. I could do a podcast, I could do a game, I could do a video essay, I could do a bunch of things that short form, just because of the nature of what it is, I can't do as thorough of a job as I
Right.
would for long
Because you're
form.
fighting for attention.
Yeah.
for sure.
Like if you there have been situations where I'm just like, oh, I'll just turn on the camera and I'll just yap for like 5-6 minutes, and then I realize, oh, well, I can't put that on short form. Now, no one's gonna watch that for
Right.
5 minutes. But then if you put that as a long form video, people will watch it.
Yeah.
I just haven't had the time to edit it, but people will watch it.
Yeah, people will watch it.
And how is it for you when you've, like, the numbers that you get, the views and all of that you get on the short form?
Yeah.
How does it feel when on the long form you're in a different game? Because a lot of the people,
yeah.
like, let's talk about, for example, the community in the audience. They are podcasters, so they focus on long form,
Long
right?
form, yeah.
So for them to get their shorts, their reels to the levels where you are, it's like, how do we do that, right? So they're able to get that long form on really big numbers.
Yeah.
And you've been able to get it on the short. So I'm trying to figure out, like, for you, how does it feel when you're kind of now starting on, let's say, and to be honest, numbers like 100,000, which are already amazing numbers, compared to when you've hit 22 million?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Does it feel different? I mean, I don't even know if that's a real question. What do you feel about that?
So for me personally, I have the benefit of benefit now, because early on it would have hurt my feelings.
It would have, yes.
You would take it personally.
I would take it personally.
Very upset.
But currently I have the benefit of when I am on a new platform or I'm in a new area, I don't equate two different things.
Right.
So
You just create.
yeah,
And you just
I
experiment and you
have
just go
fun
with it.
and keep going, because, for example, and we, to be fair, we tried for a while.
Yeah, we did.
So, for example, we stream on Twitch sometimes. We stream video games and we play video games because we're human beings. Like, we have interests. We have things, like, you know. So on the streaming, like, we know that a lot of people would like us to do more of what we do, the short form content, the jokes and stuff.
So we're off the clock, dog.
But yeah, like we can't do that 24/7.
We're off
So
the clock.
the stream is a way to connect with people, but also to,
Right.
like, do things that we want to do. And in doing that, I think we started streaming in 2024. And as of now, we have, I think, about 1,000 followers. We average about 10 to 20 viewers on there. And even on TikTok, we average about 100 to 200 viewers
Yeah.
at a time. And some people will come in and they're like, oh, how do you have such small viewership? Or I'm like, I just started, you know? I don't think I am owed an audience.
Very important, yeah.
Exactly. I think people shouldn't feel like they're owed an audience anywhere just because they have a certain viewership in one place. The
Right.
same way a celebrity from here shouldn't expect to get the same love in a different country because it's two different cultures, it's two different situations.
Audiences, even, yeah.
And I think
So-
it's a different rubric as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely different rubric.
Yeah,
Because
the
like even the numbers, when we're talking
metrics are
about
different.
if we're talking about 100,000 views on a short or a reel, then 100,000 views on a long form video is huge comparatively.
like-
Huge, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's a completely different thing. And so like if we post a long form video, it gets 1,000, we're like, okay, good.
yeah, they're like, yeah.
Because like, at the end of the day, that's still 1,000
Got people to sit down to watch
Yeah.
me yap for 8
And I
minutes
think
or however long.
that's how you need to look at these things, especially when we're talking about long form. Is not there's an ROI, and the ROI is always going to be different, but you also have to like manage your expectations.
Correct.
Like you can put a lot of time into a video, and it's the best video in the world, and nobody sees it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you could just put together some random clip of your last family trip, and everyone is like, "Yeah, this is amazing." There's no,
And that's part of that. That's
And
also part of
again-
why we put so much effort into the two different things.
Yeah.
So our short form is our short form the way it is. There's a lot of stuff that people don't know about that goes behind that. Between the shooting, the planning, the ideas, and the editing. Like our most famous video, the one about snapping your fingers, that's the one that got 17 million views. And that video, the cadence of the back and forth is edited. So in reality, we did do the back and forth, but like it wasn't as sharp.
Yeah, it wasn't as sharp.
We edited it so that like it's more engaging now.
Right.
Like if you were to put like a long, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Because if you were to put a long form of that video, of when we recorded that
would be
session,
forgettable.
It would
be
hit different.
Actually, no, it wouldn't even be forgettable. It would be the exact same thing, just a bit longer.
Yeah,
a
it
bit more
would.
deep.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
hit differently.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would hit differently.
for sure.
And that's why like currently now when we do make the long form stuff, we kind of do that with more intentionality of like, okay, we're doing the long form version. We're not just doing stuff that we've done before. We're doing brand new stuff.
Right.
And then we can then also make short form videos from that.
Yeah.
And so we have like you like this? Well, here's this in like a different coat of paint or like a different vibe. So it's fun. It's really fun.
I mean, the creative process should be fun,
Yeah,
right?
that's the
and I think
important
this
thing.
is the part where one of the big things that I feel that a lot of people get stuck in is the numbers game.
Yeah.
And that analytic stage, which again, you said as well, and even I fell into that trap. And I've been the number one advocate of don't fall for the numbers.
Yeah.
But at a point, you're like, I love this. What is amazing content? And then you look at the numbers, you're like, why is nobody vibing with it?
That's happened,
You
yeah.
kind of feel like you're not on the right path and something's wrong with your content. What do you do when you feel that? Let's get into a little bit of the emotions.
Okay, I
Don't
think we-
cry, but let's get emotional about this.
I think we both have different answers. So
He's feeling a whole lot of stuff over here. I don't know what's going on over
his
here.
journey is so
He's in his feels right now.
so for me when this happened, because there was a time when I went from having 600,000 followers on TikTok with an average of like 30 to 40,000 viewers down to an average of like 2,000. And in that time I was a bit bothered. Like he would
Yeah.
know. But ultimately what kept me going is the creative process, because especially with short form specifically, which I think we should even treat with long form as well. You have the benefit of, I'll just do something new.
Yeah.
That's it sounds insane, but it's literally that simple. Especially with short form, because you don't put too much time into short form comparatively to long form. You post the video, it goes up, people see the video within 24 hours, maybe 48 hours.
Yeah.
Depending on how well it did, you will know whether or not it's still moving through the algorithm. So knowing that, why hold on to it? Like you've done it. You've done everything you can do with it. At that point, it's literally like throwing a paper airplane into the wind. Like the wind will carry it as far as it can go. So you move on to the next creative process. That's how I used to take it.
The man's a poet, and he didn't even know it. This is something we're finding out a lot more about you guys. Okay, so this is you did mention it, managing expectations.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing from you is you have to manage your own expectations
That's
of that
100%.
piece of
That's
content.
key. Yeah. That's
And
key.
I think the time taken. I mean, you did say it. and it should be easy for us, right? To see, okay, well, it didn't hit the number that I thought it would. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
But that let's just move on phase sometimes takes longer to get over. I think maybe it's your ego. Yeah. Maybe it's what your expectation was about it.
Is ego.
Right? And it's like, what will people think if now my numbers are not there?
Yeah.
How can I compare what I'm doing with somebody else who's, you know, been in the game 2 days and I've been doing this for years and their numbers are, you know, these comparison things, like that is real. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it. So when you feel it, you're like, this is something unusual for me. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we know what he went through.
Yeah,
he was able to like, okay, we're just going to go on with it. How did it feel for you?
It was a lot of the same. I'm not going to lie.
Actually. Yeah,
I'm not going to lie.
Stopped for a while.
But I didn't stop because it wasn't going the way I wanted it to. I stopped because I just didn't have time. It didn't feel like there was much ROI in that scenario. Because what I was doing was I was editing my videos on the weekend, maybe Saturday, Sunday, and then I would just post them during the week. But the problem with that is there were so many things that I had not put in place to make that easier and to make the content I wanted to make. I've always been, and he's seen this to the T. I've always been very much, if we can do it perfectly, if we can fix everything else, apart from just like what the content of the video, let's do that first.
Right.
So a lot of times, at least back then, I would post videos. My phone wasn't the best. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have a microphone. So I was just winging it. And I was winging it because the creative process is great. But every time I look back at the video, I'm like, oh man, this doesn't look good. Or this doesn't feel, I should have said this, I should have said this. And back then, it was easy for me to just say that and then just go to the next video and next video. And I think now, especially because we have like our bread and butter, which is the if videos, now it's a matter of, okay, what else can we do outside of the if videos? And how do we like judge them separately from the if videos? It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because especially with the way we post like maybe 3 times a week. So we have if Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. So we're like, okay, Tuesday I'll post something else. But how do you, it's a whirlwind of emotion because you post a video on Monday, you get 1 million views in
and then
in
on
12
Tuesday,
hours.
you want to post something you're actually passionate about,
And then it just
20K.
20K. And you're like, well,
let me rethink my life plan.
And it's easy. And that's the thing, though. It's easy for you to be like, okay, so I'm never doing that again. But no, I think it's something that you do have to. The same way it took a couple years before this kicked off.
Yeah,
it's the same way you have to allow yourself to fail all over again when you're in a new
that was
niche.
where I was trying to go.
Because it's very easy for you to be like, oh, why can't I do? But at the same time, like your audience isn't here for that. You've never done that video before. You have to give yourself the grace to create on the level of your primary niche.
Yeah.
And same thing as your secondary.
Or even to find your niche.
Or even to find your niche.
Yeah. I think that you guys are saying such powerful things, and I hope people are understanding this, because the process that you go through of feeling that piece of content failed makes you feel like you're a failure. And I'm a big believer in failing forward, which is what both of you are saying. That you learn it upwards, forwards. It's not backwards. Yeah, so we're always in the right direction. We're up or forward, but it's not good. So it's like you need to learn that is just giving you another learning as you go. Learnings give you more learnings, right? So don't get stuck in it. Try to find a way through it is what I'm getting from you guys. And you actually, I love this. You segued into another question that I had in my little notes here. You talked about niche, right? When you guys started, and you said you've been doing this for a while before, it wasn't an overnight success, which very rarely anything is. But when did you decide that, you know what, we've done if, this is a great concept, now we're going to branch into something new? At what point did you make that decision?
That was very early on, actually.
So, very early on?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's surprising. Okay.
So as I mentioned, the first time I did the concept, which was 4 years ago now. Yeah, it was
4 years,
April 2020. 22nd, 2022. Yeah. Something like that.
Wow, so it's your anniversary.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
I just forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remembered rather. But yeah, when I did that, I did 3 videos in a row. At the time I was working, which is another conversation to have. But at the time I was working, I made the videos before work. I edited the videos on the way to work, and I scheduled the 3 videos, or I planned, okay, I'm going to post this
tomorrow,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah. And when that happened, because as I said, I had another thing that I was doing that went viral, but I didn't enjoy the way I kind of dragged it out for my audience.
Right.
I told myself that, okay, I'm going to do these 3 and let's see how it goes. If I get another idea, I'll do it again, you know?
Right.
So it's very much been like I said, as long as I have fuel, I'm going to add it to the fire kind of thing, in terms of like whenever we have a new idea, we push the idea, but there have always been ideas in the background to fill up the same space. It's just that, you know, it takes a lot of space. It takes a big space.
Because these are very quick. They're very quick, very easy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think one thing about us is our form of we grew up on like British humor, which is very
Monty
like
Python and them.
Very-
Monty
yeah.
Python, Mr. Bean, all these kind of things, and that kind of humor is very dry and witty.
Yeah.
So that's where our kind
That's a
of
very good point. Yeah.
yeah. So
completely
for us,
forgot
it's
about
it's fun. It's like, how can we think of this or overthink this or say something really stupid, but like keep a straight face. And so yeah, it's a very how you say
It plays into our strengths, I would
yeah
say.
Yeah, I think that's what you guys are doing. You're realizing what you're enjoying, what you're good at doing, and you're kind of just rolling that out and still experimenting.
Yeah.
You're still putting new content out, new styles. And this is where I think people will learn something from that part of your journey. That if you just see this is working and we're going to continue this for the rest of our lives, there's no creativity in there. Yes, actually, no, there is creativity because you're creating new pieces of content.
Yeah.
But the creativity has kind of like diminished and it's just replication.
Plus,
So this is where I think you guys are excelling because you're keeping that momentum going by tapping into new forms of content and new ways of delivering your message, whatever the message is,
message.
whatever the message is.
Yeah, but that's another thing is, like I said earlier, also like, no human is a real one-trick pony. Like people are nuanced. People have different things that they're interested in or things that they want to try. I know that the algorithms promote certain
He had to bring the A word, didn't he? You had to mention the algorithm. Okay, let's go into the algorithm.
I know that they promote and push people to do a certain kind of content, but ultimately, like, I love movies. I can talk about movies all day. I love music. I listen to music like almost every day. I play instruments, and I play video games, and these are things that like are interests to me. Some of them I might want to make content about them, some I might not, but the ones that I do, I feel they have as much rights to go on my page or my pages as the stuff that's doing well. And just because that gets 1,000 views versus 1 million doesn't mean that it's undeserving or that it failed. It's just that, like as he said, people aren't used to seeing that. The algorithm isn't used to me posting about that, but over time it will. And that's one thing that I was talking to one of my clients about recently for our business, is that I think there's so much potential to have up to 3 niches on one page.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, if not more. Because the reason why most people are scrolling and are online is for a handful of reasons: for news, for entertainment, for whatever it is, right? So why can't you fill up all those points?
So then you would recommend to actually not go into one single niche. You would say, look, pick multiple niches that you can, but they're under the same umbrella.
Under the same umbrella,
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then put them all out there.
Yeah.
Now, if one really just wins and it's getting all the exposure and it's getting all the love, do we continue that? Would you recommend, or just keep putting all 3 of them out? What would be your strategy there?
You should just keep putting all 3 out.
Yeah.
You can definitely replicate or prioritize the one that's doing well. But for example, for example, and that's another thing.
I
People,
think we made that mistake actually. Yeah.
So let's get into the mistakes, guys. I want to know all the things that you made a mistake on.
so
Tell me.
that's another thing is I feel like another thing is people are afraid to make fools of themselves.
Right.
People are afraid to look silly.
Right.
Meanwhile, a lot of people, they relate to silliness.
Yeah.
They relate to failure. They relate to mistakes. And that's why bloopers do so well.
Also, it's so interesting that that's the case because you can't
be perfect on something you're
no,
trying
not
the
even
first
perfect. You can't learn if you don't make
We don't make
mistakes.
mistakes,
Yeah.
precisely.
Literally, like-
but then this is the part of human psychology. We know that, but as a child, you have to fall down before you know how to walk. But as an adult, you kind of feel like, well, I don't want to look silly.
Society,
I
yeah.
don't want to be judged for doing something that didn't work.
You lost your whimsy, dog.
Oh my goodness,
You
the
lost
man's
your
bringing his.
whimsy.
This is a very interesting point.
Yeah.
Like, how do we go through that process?
It goes deeper. Like,
I'm telling you, we had a whole different topic in mind, but I'm enjoying this topic even more because it is a lot of the times we don't talk about these things.
It's psychology
We talk about
at
the
the end,
numbers and
yeah.
we talk about like how you made it and all of this. And you have actually told us in terms of like what things worked for you. Don't think about the getting niche later on. Even go very early in. But it's the feelings that you go through that process because not everything is going to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if everyone follows in your footsteps to keep experimenting, there's going to be a bunch of things that they're going to fail on.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
need to be able to see it as an experiment. And then if it doesn't work, you just keep plugging on, but don't take it to heart that people are not liking you.
Exactly.
It's just that content or that piece or whatever, it didn't work.
And there's like 8 billion of us anyway. There will be people that
Yeah.
would relate to whatever it is that
Like you
post.
can't.
And quite a lot of the millions are watching you guys. So it's true. I mean, they are. You're doing something right. You're making the content that's resonating with people.
Yeah.
And I think once you've understood that that's what you're great at, then you just kind of keep maneuvering. And I think that's what you guys are doing. And I want to see more of your long form because it's allowing you to be you guys without all the super duper editing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, those are fun.
This is exactly. I think that you're bringing that to the mix, but the long form as well. I think it's just really interesting to see you dabble in that and see where that could go as well. So then, look, I wanted to ask you one very different question to what we've been talking about, and that's a little bit more about your future, right? How do you see building the future of your content? I mean, it could be through your agency, it could be through you as content creators. What does the future look like for you guys and what you're doing in the creative process?
You first.
Oh, just like okay.
Oh, you
Just
don't-
like that.
I mean, if you don't
No,
want
no,
that,
no, because you said you first, so now kind of.
No, if you don't want that, I
No,
can.
it's okay because you said like I was gonna let it stew for a bit, but if you want me to go first, I can.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's no pressure.
That's a good question. It's a very good question. I think there's a lot of different avenues. There's a lot of different routes. I think I'll break it down into personal and stop breaking it down.
Sorry.
The man is in train of thought. He's in the stream of consciousness.
My bad.
The annoying thing is I thought it too. No, I think I'll split it into like your personal and then your business. From a business point of view, obviously we want to grow, expand, do more things, meet more people, have more clients, et cetera, and really push what you see on Instagram for
Give
like,
people the tools to
That's
be
I think
great,
that's
I
the
guess.
key thing too. Like
people
it's,
get in their own way a lot.
yeah.
it's great to be able to meet somebody and they have a business or they have an idea and help them like really not just find an audience but also like put them in front and center and let them be comfortable in what it takes to own and run their own social media. But like you said, just giving them the tools so that they know what they can achieve, even without us to a very large extent, is kind of what we're looking for in terms of the business. So I think in the future, that's kind of where we're going. We're going for bigger, more impact in terms of your clients, in terms of what what social media can do for your business, what social media can do for you as a person as well. And then that's kind of the idea. He has an entire schematics board.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
Where's your board?
He wants to do like
Bring out your flip chart or whatever the hell this is, and
he
put
wants to
that
do
space.
photography. He wants to do weddings.
I want to do events. Maybe even AI. You know,
Maybe even
is-
AI. I don't know about that. I don't.
maybe. Yeah.
I will sell my stake in the company. But on the personal side, I think it's more of the same. You know, we've been creating content since it's been a decade now, 2015.
Yeah.
And more than a decade. So it never went away. It never goes away. And it might be suppressed because life is a thing that happens, but it's something that you don't realize that you're chasing until you have the space to actually chase it.
Right.
And so now we're kind of in a place where we have the space to chase it. It's very interesting to not just look back and see, 10 years ago, what were we trying to do? How much of that can we do now? But also looking forward at, okay, with all the stuff that we've learned over the years, what can we do as well? There have been some very interesting conversations, especially in regards to long form. There have been some ideas in regards to short form as well, because, you know, it's our bread and butter. But I think it's take over the world.
Okay. I mean, she just started with that at the end of the day. World peace and take over the world. I mean, that's it. There you go.
It's constantly evolving, so that is
have them laughing.
is where you're going to.
Yeah.
We were talking about doing stand up at some point,
Oh.
so that might be.
Well, there's a lot of open mic sessions here for
Yeah,
comedy, so
yeah.
you can start getting into that. Why
Yeah.
not?
And and
And you said this is your first time doing a live, so maybe you can do more lives.
Yeah.
I mean, just put the idea in your mind. Why not? Seeing as we're ideating right now, you can even think about those things. See, he's now thinking about it, ruminating, it's working.
it'll be fun.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions that we've been getting from the live session.
Yes, please.
One of them is, who are your top 3 favorite content creators?
Oh,
Dang.
Now,
Oh my God, okay, that was a big question. Did not expect that. Okay, this is good.
now,
Think about it, give me answers.
now. Okay, well, in the past, the top 3 that inspired me are Viners. Even though we're on Vine. If you know Vine, shout out to you. That would be Lenar Young, Caleb City, and who's the third guy?
You know the third guy.
RDC World.
RDC World is one,
definitely.
Don't know Viners.
Yeah.
Okay.
But currently, who currently? I watch so many people.
So
currently.
many people,
The thing
yeah.
is, for the work that we do, we kind of have to be online. So like,
Exactly.
I work with so many people, but there are. I think there's too many to name, but what's this guy's name?
There are a lot.
There's so many. Yeah,
There are
there's
so
many.
And I think for me, it's extra tough because like all of my interests are tied to like YouTube as well.
Yeah,
So
and
it's-
also in recent years,
yo,
we've had the benefit of actually getting to talk to some of these
some
people.
of these people as well. Yeah, so that's kind of wild. Okay, I
so
think
many.
RDC is probably up there. Actually, no, definitely up there. Caleb is also up there as
Yeah.
well. But you also had like for the YouTube long form folks, you had the Markipliers, the Jacksepticeye.
Oh, yeah.
Even KSI.
Yeah,
KSI, the Beta Squad, just anybody out there that's making like proper content. I think,
Yeah.
because I watch a ton of YouTube. That's like all I watch. So a lot of my answers are going to be YouTube related. Kevin Lang and the Kevin Lang show
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
This is good because at the end of the day, you guys are creating content, but you're also avid consumers of content.
Yeah.
So you're keeping all of the elements within yourselves, like you're on the trend. You're understanding what's
Yeah.
going on, and you're picking and choosing who you like. And it's great that you've got so many people out there to choose from. That's what I love. There are so many creators out there, and then there are a lot of them who are good quality creators.
Yeah.
I think they're actually focusing on the quality of the content, which makes a big difference. Another question that we've got here as well, one is coming from Marwan. He wants to know, can you tell the type of traction a video will get when you're creating it?
Yes.
Well, there you go, Marwan. Easy answer for you. Thank you so much. We can go home now. Okay.
So
How can you tell?
So, so for what we've noticed over the last 5 years of creating content is that there is a formula. There's there is a kind of formula. I don't want to use the word formula.
Tell us the formula.
'cause then
You're not
people-
leaving until you tell us the
Yeah,
formula.
'cause
That's
people
what
are
we're here
gonna be
for.
like, okay, so how much do I pay you for this formula? But like, there's a recipe.
But it's not even a recipe.
Yeah, like because it doesn't always work.
It's a concoction.
Yeah, again, it's
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Let's not call it. What is it?
It's-
Tell us the juicy parts. What is it?
relatability.
Okay, relatability.
It's shareability, which is kind of the same thing, and it's exaggeration. These three things we've noticed are like really good at getting videos to go viral.
Yeah.
And
But you can't do. But they have to be in equal parts.
yeah,
You
because
can't do one over the other.
consider something like, you know, on the news. Almost always the worst news is what floats around the most,
Yes.
and that's because it is exaggerated, or
Usually,
you know what I mean by
exaggerated.
it's
Well,
big. is
yeah,
what I
it's
mean.
big, it's big.
Before some people come at me,
It's a
but
different
it's
conversation.
big. You know, it's dramatic. You know, so that's the exaggeration part. It's shareable. If you no, my cousin lives in that place. Or,
Yeah.
Relatable.
It's relatable.
So relatable, shareable, and exaggerated.
Yeah. And so in our case, when we're making these, excuse me, silly things, we know that like,
I love how
okay,
he calls it silly things. Okay.
It's casual silly.
this, you know, this is seen by like tens of millions of people.
Yeah,
It's like-
silly things.
humble too. But yeah, when we're making these videos, we kind of just know based on how silly and relatable that it is that it's gonna go a certain
A lot
way.
of times, but before we even leave the studio, we have everything set up in our minds already. We have the music,
cadence,
the
music,
edits. We
yeah.
have it all like set
And
up.
that's another thing is when the final edit ties everything together. Like I was talking about the other video where we cut it back to back.
Yeah.
We knew, even the one I was talking about where I said half of the joke, I knew. I did that video because I knew it was topical, it was relatable, it was shareable, and because people know my brand and my formula, it was somewhat exaggerated.
And what's funny is there was an alternate ending for that video.
yeah, where
And
I
then-
said the punchline.
Where he actually said the punchline, and then halfway through we're just like,
Just
nah,
do it
nah,
again
nah,
and don't say
nah,
anything.
Don't say anything. And we'll never know. We'll never know.
Well, yeah, it's really one of those that you'll never know the answer to.
But I mean, the one that we put out, it did pretty well. So.
Yeah, it did pretty well. But yeah.
Okay, thanks for those questions. We've got another one as well. How do you actually plan your content? And do you look at the demographics that are, following you and vibing with your content? Do you put a little bit of context in terms of your demographics and cater so it's relatable and shareable? Or are you just like, I'm going to do this and I don't care if Gen Z or X, Y, or Z will
yeah,
follow me?
Depends on the content, really.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
So I would say that we actually purposefully don't look at demographics, which some people would say is kind of counterintuitive. But in our case, we looked at it that we want it to be relatable to everybody. We want, which I guess
it shouldn't really matter who's watching it.
I would say some people will say, if you're targeting everybody, then you're targeting nobody. But like, no, we want everybody to get this.
Yeah.
Like no matter who you are, where you live, how old you are, it should be a situation. Well, obviously English speakers, but
Well, you have AI now. You can translate it in multiple languages.
So that's
there
actually
you go.
another thing I was going to mention. We have checked our analytics every now and then, and there were a few times where we did videos based on analytics.
Based on analytics, yes.
So we noticed that we had a huge Brazilian following.
Shout out to Brazil.
Shout out to Brazil about a year ago, and so we literally did a video where I learned how to speak Portuguese, a sentence in Portuguese. It wasn't AI. It wasn't like.
It was really you.
It was really me because I have a friend that's in Brazil. I learned how to speak Brazilian Portuguese. I said it for the video. That video did well. So it is possible to target, but specifically, we want just anybody and everybody to be able to see the video, to think that, oh, okay, this is a clip from a podcast. What's going on? And then we just subvert their expectation. That's another formula.
So it's
as
four.
part of the formula.
So
Yeah,
it's
so it's
four.
four things.
we got the fourth one
Relatability,
now, okay.
shareability, exaggeration, and
Subversion of expectations.
subversion of expectation. Yeah.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue.
That's very long. Keep it to three.
three,
It flows
maybe
nicer.
we can get like an acronym for it.
Yeah, have that as an appendix, but the three work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very cool.
Reese.
We're gonna go Greece.
Reese.
Greece. Okay. Alrighty. We've got another question. I love the questions you guys are bringing in. This is cool. The other question we've got as well is it best to distribute content on all platforms?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's already answered the question before I finish answering the question. This is good. Okay, because if you're saying yes to that, the question goes more into what about targeting more in terms of like if you're going to be doing audio or if you just focus on video, should we just put it on all and just repurpose the video content into audio as well?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Have you
have
like?
something?
that's a good question.
We're gonna have a lot of good. This is what the show is about. A lot of good
Yeah, I'm
questions
enjoying
here.
this. Yeah,
But
this
thank
is
you
good.
so much. There you go. Job done. Tick.
I mean, okay, so if we're talking about like splitting it up into audio versus video,
Yeah.
I'm not sure it really matters which platform
Yeah,
you're on.
consider, for example, Surrounded, which
Yeah.
is a podcast that we've listened to a few times. There is the videos are on YouTube, and there's also the audio on
yeah.
Spotify. But I don't think there's much of a difference.
There
between-
isn't much of a difference, apart from like maybe seeing facial reactions, but you don't really need to see facial reactions when you're speaking about tone. So I guess it depends on the content that you're putting out, because I think some
If it's like heavily in visuals, then definitely.
like some pieces of audio would benefit from having a visual accompaniment, but some don't.
Yeah. But ultimately, if we're talking like any other kind of content, especially like non-podcast stuff, definitely multi-platform is the best way. You
Yeah.
get wide reach, and
reach.
you get also, depending on where you're living, you get access to the creator programs. So that's a really good way to sustain whatever it is you're doing. For unfortunately, if we had known that, because we started on TikTok before we moved to Instagram, if we had known that, we might have maybe double the following that we have now, because we missed like a year or like a year and a half. But yeah, definitely. And even Facebook, for example, Facebook
That's
is
the thing, yeah.
a platform that pays here in the UAE, and we didn't start using it until late 2024, and we didn't get monetized until August of 2025.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I would advise people to put their platforms in as many places as possible. Even
The content of it. We got it. We know what he's
Thank
saying.
you.
We got it.
even if there's like no traction, you still benefit from. You never know. You might even forget about the platform.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Because that happened to us.
So tell us a little bit about that one.
So what even caused that to happen?
I don't know.
I think
Like to the day, I don't know
So
what.
I can't remember who said something to us, and we were just like, let's just start posting on every platform. So before we were only posting on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
And then somebody said something to us. I cannot remember who you are, but shout out to you. And then we started posting on Snapchat, X, Twitter, and YouTube. And
Facebook, everywhere.
Facebook. Yeah, we started posting pretty much everywhere. And we noticed that even on the, like literally the platforms where we weren't even interacting with the app, we would just go post and close the app. We came back, 5,000 followers, 100,000 views on the post. And that's because at the end of the day, if you're making good content, like, it's going to reach the right people. It's going to reach the people that want to see it. That's how the algorithms work.
So then this is one of my favorite conversational points. What, in your view, separates a good content creator from someone who's just creating content?
Personality.
Intentionality.
Yeah.
Personality. You guys are giving me goosebumps. Personality and intentionality.
Yeah.
See, did you expect this conversation to be as deep and beautiful as it really has?
Not
Honestly,
quite.
I know. Surprise! This is very interesting because I think the intention that somebody has will create a different quality and focus. And this is that where you guys both operate from?
Yeah.
Or is it where you kind of sometimes yes, but more you just want to kind of create?
Interesting.
I would say
This is a psychology session and a podcast at the same time. So yes, welcome to the Farry Show.
I think, actually, yeah. I think we operate in, like, we operate in our answers quite. Actually, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. No, it's very much personal, and because, and I think that's the issue that some other people have, especially people who are new on camera, because you can tell that they're new on camera. You can always tell when somebody's new on camera. But for example, even for us, like I said, when we are doing content and people are in the room and we can just turn it on and they're like, where did you guys go?
Yeah.
You guys were replaced by 2 random people.
Right.
And again, it's definitely like intentional. We're doing with intent to like have that persona of somebody that's being serious and saying nonsense, and somebody that's having to listen to this nonsense. You know, so, but that's specific to us. But for example, with other people, as I keep saying about the algorithm favors certain kinds of content,
Right.
and so you have like 10 people doing that same content. What makes you different from those 10 people?
Yep.
It's your personality.
Correct.
So you need to inject, and that's why a lot of people, I've noticed that some of the people that do news content that I love watching, for example, I love watching this guy called Dylan Page, and he tells the news. The news is kind of the same like everywhere. I mean, what happened, you
Right.
know? But he always gives this kind of flair with his personality. He gives his own opinion sometimes. And that's what makes me like, okay, like, yeah, this is funny, this is interesting, you know? And I just thought of something else that we haven't even talked about.
Oh my God, tell me.
It's not even like, some people would think it's the edits, for example. That's another thing. You can have personality with edits, which we do.
Very good point.
we
Wait,
brand.
no, you've got personality without edits. Come on. Don't sell yourself short. This is living proof. This is not edited. This is live.
No, but I mean, like, we intentionally like edit a certain way. So I guess that would be more branding.
Because you're wrapping it
Yeah.
up more than anything else. Like, if the situation doesn't like, if he doesn't give like 100% in a particular line and we can't exactly reshoot, you have to now edit it in a way or change the entire structure of the video.
Yeah.
So that his 50% still makes sense in the context of what we're doing.
Right.
That's what he needs.
So yeah, but it all wraps up with like the intent to make the post a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nice.
Definitely, I would say, yeah.
Okay, we're going to start wrapping up. Although I really would love to carry on this conversation and get a little bit more into your mindset. But I want to touch upon one topic that we haven't really talked about, and we usually always talk about it in every session we do, and that's about monetization.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, the big bucks. So one of the questions that we had, and that was from Nagin, she wanted to know, when did you start your monetization process? Like, at what point did you start making money from this entire creative process?
That was that shortly after the big video? I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
No, it
think-
was like
no, it was
Feb.
it was like a year before after.
Feb
So you hit the
2025?
big video, you hit the big 70 million, and you started just doing back on back, like, million views, and then it took a year after.
Yeah, because we didn't start like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
'Cause
No, but
when
Facebook was
that video was
saying that.
2024.
Yeah.
But we didn't start getting like,
Until August,
like
okay,
August
yeah, yeah,
2025. Yeah. And you were even later than that.
Yeah, but ultimately that's not. I wouldn't say that that's like intentional in a way, because of course, living in UAE, we don't have a creator program for Instagram or TikTok. Some people may not know if you're watching internationally, but Facebook and YouTube do pay. So
That's what you were referring to.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like, because obviously we could have monetized through, like,
fair.
merchandise and all that stuff.
Fair.
So, yeah, it was really dependent on the platforms in that case. But
Yeah.
aside from that, we had monetized the content through collaborations with other people and stuff like that, with their brands mostly. But for people who want to get monetized through the platforms, it's very much the platform that depends, I would say.
Yeah, because you could apply for the monetization on Facebook now, for example, and it takes a while before they approve you. I had to send like 4 or 5 emails. For context, when I signed up for content monetization on Facebook, I was at 20,000 followers, and I don't think I got approved until I was
Like
at
500,000.
900K.
Yeah, something like
Whoa.
Yeah, it took, and obviously that was like, thankfully, like
It was a quick growth
I grew
spurt.
very fast, yeah. But at the same time, like you look at it and you're like, okay, what else do I have? And it goes back to that
What's
whole
the
psychological
criteria?
thing again, where it's like, what do I need to do to get you to monetize? I'm bringing in views for you guys. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
And at the end of the day, it was just, I was on a list essentially, and they just had to get to my number
Yeah, they
pretty
could
much.
just get to you. Thank you.
But I would say that other people should have the foresight to. I think merchandise is a good idea.
Yeah.
We haven't settled on that yet for multiple reasons, but like, I think merchandise is a good idea for most people. If they do have an audience, it's a good way for the audience to support their show, and obviously it's for you to get.
And if people like your stuff, they'll get your merch.
Yeah, they will.
They'll get your
I think merch is quite a big one that a lot of people are getting into. And it's actually supporting you and your as a creator as well. So it's an easy way for them to support you. What do you feel about, creating content which is paid for, specifically by a group of followers, like people who are your super fans, your diehard fans? They really want to just consume everything, to create paid content on that level. What do you feel about that?
That, I think we've gone back and forth about that for a while.
That's a good question.
Because especially on YouTube, for example, where you have like your membership. What we thought about doing was putting the BTS for all of these sessions into the membership so that people can see some of that. But realistically, it's a bit of a headache to do.
Yeah, I think it creates a bit of pressure.
It's not only the pressure, it's also like in regards to how the structure that we have right now doesn't really allow for that. Because by the time there are videos that we've recorded in, let's say, October that we haven't posted. And so people would already have that video and that punchline if we uploaded that BTS like
It's irrelevant
in October.
then.
Exactly. So it doesn't really do anything for anybody involved. So we're still looking at it. We're still trying to figure it out. But I don't think I don't have a problem with it.
Maybe it's your type of content. Maybe if for someone who's maybe talking about a different topic and it's not so much like relatable comedy, it might be a different way they can look at monetizing it.
Like FD Signify,
100%.
Nebula, all those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Where they have like an extra explanation or like something. I think there's fantastic.
Especially when we're talking about, for example, if you're doing essays or even podcasts on YouTube. Jam does it where they have it. I think it's perfectly acceptable for you to have like the uncut version of your podcast or the uncut version of your video behind a paywall, so that if the people actually want to see that, then they go see it.
Yeah.
But you don't chop. Let's say you don't chop like half of the video and then put it behind the paywall.
Oh, the other half, give me $5.
Kind of manipulating your audience.
Yeah.
That's where you got to kind of a little bit of give and take. How much you really love your audience and your fans versus the ones how much you want to monetize from them. I think that's the give and take part of it. And what about like, brand associations, brand product placement, that kind of thing? Did they come to you at a certain point, or did you go to them?
They've come to us. Yeah.
And did you feel like, okay, we made it now because they're coming to us? And
it's quite an interesting feeling because we were basically just having fun, and then they're coming to us. So it's like, but I do understand where they're coming from because of the reach,
right?
And so you get
also the setting as well.
Yeah. The setting, because that's another thing is I think for some they still underestimate how powerful it is to just
be there.
You have your
they do. Yeah, people do not understand. Like that is.
I don't even know how to explain it. It's so funny because at the end of the day, podcasts, you can talk about anything. You can talk about anything. You can create any scenario. You can do whatever you want. So for me, it's a bit interesting how some people oversee. They can oversee that, overlook that. But hopefully it evolves to include more. To include more things.
Well, look, I think you guys are destined for a very bright future, whatever that's going to look like. As we always say, inshallah, you're going to do great things moving forward.
Inshallah.
And I just want you guys to leave with one piece of advice. What advice would you give to our podcasting community when it comes to creating content? What one piece of advice you want to leave them with?
Okay, one each. I always give this whenever people ask. It's just focus on doing what makes you happy. Focus on creating, putting good things out there of value, and just be as consistent as you can be. Consistency is different for everybody. It can be once a week, can be once a month, can even be once a year. Don't do that. You're not going to get anywhere. And just be you. At the end of the day, just be you. Yeah.
Love that. Just be you. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hebrew, my guy.
You've got no advice. You've been talking for like over an hour. You've got advice. Come on.
He took my.
He stole your idea.
Okay. Give something from your
let me
personal.
See. So, off the top of my head, be kinder to yourself.
Oof.
I think
that's good.
Yeah, because there's so many aspects of this entire thing where, like, on the surface it's just like, oh, I'm making a video, LOL, but there's a lot of mental stuff that goes into it that you're not going to be prepared for, and you might not handle it the best the first go around. So like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Allow yourself to do it at your own pace. Be kind to yourself so that you're not chasing the numbers. You're not fighting against yourself, essentially. And like they said, just have fun with it, dog. Like, it's your content.
It might sound cliche, but
like, it really might. But like, it's something that people really overlook, and it's
the power of your mind is
rough.
You'd be surprised.
We're trying to wrap up, guys. Don't start another topic for me, because mindset and the power of your mind is where my playground. So don't open up that Pandora's box, yeah? But I love both of your pieces of advice, and they mean so much on such a deep level. This has been really interesting. Completely off the track of what we actually wanted to talk about, but I love the conversation that you brought to the table.
Thank you.
And for everyone who's been watching, if you see where I did that? If I had to, come on, how can I have you guys on here and not try something? I can't promise it's going to be funny, but it's going to be real. If you guys join thinking there's going to be shortcuts shared and an easy formula playbook that you can follow, I think you can safely understand that's not how it flows. But these guys have shared absolute gold, how they've managed to ride this wave, and inshallah they're going to ride even bigger waves moving into the future. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys, Deji and Dio, for joining us as well. I can't even speak now. I think I'm like, it's time to wrap up. But it's been one of my favorite sessions so far in, I think, 21 events that we've done for PodClub. And I'm sure that if anybody wants to watch this again, you're going to pick up more and more, because these guys are just crushing it. And I just wish you all the best. And I wish everybody else amazing things that you want to pick up from these guys. Learn from the best. That's what we bring to PodClub every single session. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you for the next session. Bye.
Subscribe.
Oh,
Subscribe,
yeah, do that. Yeah.
like, share, and comment. I hate that, but we're going to do it. Bye. See you later. We're good?